What's up, everyone? This is FP Sticks bringing you some more Go Battle League content, bringing you some Masters League, or Master League. Why do I keep saying Masters League? Master League battles here. In this video, I'm using this team of Dialga, Metagross, and Giratina, and I had so much success with it. I only have 10 battles in this video, but running this line of 3, I actually got 14 wins and 1 loss, which compared to my previous teams that I've been using in Master League is a huge improvement. In my previous video, I ran Dialga, Rhyperior, and Giratina, and we kind of all realized that I had a pretty significant weakness to Togekiss in that video. So I swapped in Metagross here because it's just a solid answer to Togekiss, and I just had so much success with this team. So let's kind of look through a bunch of the battles that I did. I'm in a very unfortunate spot right here where my Giratina is stuck against the Snorlax, but I've already gotten one ominous wind boost from this. Whenever this happens to me and I use Giratina as a switch in, and I'm stuck against a Snorlax, I just go straight ominous wind in hopes of getting the boost. And after I've received that one boost, then I start to go straight Shadow Ball. And even though it's immunity tier resisted by Snorlax, it does start to add up. I make a pretty aggressive swap there. I don't want to get hit by an Earthquake from this Snorlax, but they're actually running Superpower, which is very interesting. Makes sense why they were just going straight Body Slam on my Giratina there. I'm going for this Earthquake. Really hope that this goes through. They only have one shield left. They let it go through, and that kind of solidified me the victory here. Because out comes the Snorlax. Even though the lick damage is super effective, Metagross can hang with it. This Meteor Mash is going to be coming through. I get the last shield, and I should be able to bullet punch down this Snorlax. Actually, he licks me down first. But this is still a very favorable scenario. I'm just going to be able to bring in my Dialga. One Dragon Breath takes down the Snorlax. Dialga is absolutely freaking insane. I was really trying to hold off on powering up one because I was trying to do a lot of lucky trades. And I was having no success with the IVs that I was getting. So I just ended up powering up my 96 IV with 15 attack and then 14 on defense and HP. And it's been working great. I'm currently, I have the Dialga equipped as my buddy. I'm trying to get that best buddy boost so I can get the breakpoints there to kind of solidify the mirror matchups, which I actually run into a lot. I do correctly shield up that superpower, and now I'm going to bring in my own Metagross. Melmetal is absolutely amazing as well. I just don't have one built, and I probably won't have one built until next time Master League rolls around. So I'm totally fine with going with Metagross as my steel type of choice. You can actually pretty comfortably beat Melmetal as long as you shield up that first superpower. And typically people that play Melmetal, they're going to throw that superpower and then they're going to dip out of there because they don't want to deal with that the debuffs. So most of the time it either ends up you get switch advantage, or if you're able to land that Earthquake, you just totally take that matchup. I'm not able to get the Meteor Mash off there, which is very unfortunate. Dialga is a great response to Giratina. Even if this is a Shadow Ball, I'm okay with taking it. It's only an ominous wind. These Dragon Breaths really add up here. This is just another ominous wind, so I let it go through. I fully committed to Dragon Breath farming down their Giratina. They are going to bring out Kyogre, which is not the best response, but they make an amazing sacrificial swap into their Melmetal. That was a really great play. They still shielded up anyways, so I'm assuming that this is going to be a superpower. I'm actually still just going to let this go through. Since I have my Giratina in the back, I'm going to be able to handle the Kyogre, and I was even able to get some energy off of that Melmetal. Just going straight Shadow Ball here. Normally, especially when you're playing against top level players, they are going to suspect that you're going to try to shield bait them, especially when there's only one shield left and we're both down to our last Pokemon. So it's kind of high risk, high reward. If you go for the heavier hitting move right off the bat and they don't shield it, you definitely solidify that matchup. But if it does get shielded, it's kind of rough. All I had to do in that matchup was avoid the Blizzard and I would have been okay. Let's see who we get paired up with next. Going up against Malipi 96. My battle rating has increased almost 100 points since I started using this team, which is kind of hilarious. Because when I started Master League, my rating dropped like 100 points. So I'm above 3,600 again after doing a couple sets with this team. So very exciting. I shielded up this Iron Head because I was worried that it would be a Thunder. You just never know with people whether they're running Thunder or they also could be carrying Draco Meteor, which hits so hard, even on Metagross when it's resisted. I'm going to commit my second shield here, and I do correctly catch the Draco Meteor. They played that extremely well. They baited me with the Iron Head, and then they threw the Draco Meteor. I anticipated that that was going to be coming through. I land the Earthquake. It's able to take out the Dialga. So I've regained control of this matchup, even though I'm completely out of shields. Totally fine with me. Hoping to get this last shield with this Iron Head here. I do get the last shield. The Dragon Breath damage is really stacking up against this Giratina. I don't think a Shadow Ball is going to be enough to KO me at this range. Yep, I survived with just a sliver of health. He had to get out of there. I still have Metagross, which is going to be a very solid answer to Togekiss. And I'm going to have just enough health that I'm going to be able to get to this Meteor Mash. Does this one-shot a Togekiss in Master League? It does. So strong. They got Giratina in the back. I have my own Giratina in the back. I can tank a Shadow Ball, which I know is what's going to be coming through. And they are about in Ominous Wind range. So I'm just going to go straight Ominous Wind here. I did not want to risk getting hit by their own Ominous Wind. So this should be enough to take out the Giratina. Good games there. Really like this line of three. And I caught so many positive leads leading with Dialga. Even if they lead with Machamp or Rhyperior, like those are still fairly playable matchups. If they lead with Togekiss, we can kind of see how I play out some of these things. So against Melmetal, this is not a good matchup for me. Let's see how I plays out. Okay, I just switched right off the bat there into Giratina, and they are not running Snorlax. Thank goodness. This is actually still an okay matchup for me. I'm just going to go straight Shadow Ball, and it connects. So this puts me at a significant advantage here. I'm going to let the Dragon Claw go through. It doesn't really have near as much threat as my Shadow Ball does. I believe I am going to shield up this one. And then I want to land this Ominous Wind. I overfarmed there just a little bit again. This is going to kind of put them in a scenario where they either want to commit a shield to try to get that Dragon Claw off or just let it go. I'm down a shield, but I've regained control of this match, and I had just enough extra energy stored that I'm going to be able to throw this Shadow Ball here. I do get a shield. Giratina put in a lot of work there. Now we need to remember they still have the Melmetal. So I'm actually going to bring in my own Dialga to mirror because I'm more comfortable with my Metagross lined up against their Melmetal. Going to let this Iron Head go through. They are opting to still stay in here. I always overcharge a little bit because I'm assuming that they might try to make a sacrificial swap. So I want to hold on to my energy just in case they try to do that. Now I bring in my own Metagross and I'm able to bullet punch that Dialga down before I can get to a charge move. So this is a very favorable scenario for me. I do need to shield up the first superpower because that's going to be the one that's going to do the most damage. But some people like to play this out where they try to bait you and throw a Rock Slide first off. This person just went straight for the superpower. I've encountered a lot of people that run Melmetal and they try to go for the Rock Slide bait so that way they don't suffer the debuff right off the bat. But this is going to be a favorable matchup. Going to be able to survive this superpower, and I'm going to be able to get to this Earthquake. Honestly, their defense is dropped so much that maybe even a Meteor Mash would KO them at this range, but I'm able to take that match. Good games. Good games. It felt really good to finally go on a good winning streak here. Dialga was like the best investment that I've made in Master League so far. Highly recommend it. Going up against Tolatinger. This is a very favorable lead for me. I'm resisting the Waterfall. I resist the Surf. The Blizzard would only hit for neutral. They swap into their own Dialga, so I'm going to bring out my Metagross because Metagross has such a poor matchup against Kyogre, so I want to avoid that matchup. They go for the Draco Meteor. Oh my gosh, that hits so hard. I'm really hoping that they let this Earthquake go through because otherwise they're going to be able to fast move me down. Okay, thank goodness. Honestly, if they would have committed a shield there, they would have regained control of this match. Even with the reduced attack, I still feel like if I were in their scenario, I would have committed a shield there. Probably would have tried to maybe bait with Iron Head first, but that Draco Meteor was insane. So I'm in a very favorable matchup here. They switch into Scizor. I have not played against a Scizor before. I'm assuming that they are running Night Slash and probably Iron Head for their charge moves. Night Slash is going to hit Giratina for super effective, so I shield up that first one. Now I'm going to switch into my Dialga. The Dragon Breath is resisted, but Dialga do not care, man. Still hits for a lot of damage. Dragon Breath is insane. I mentioned this in my last video a little bit. With those one-turn moves, if you're tapping your phone screen too fast, sometimes it doesn't register. So again, one-turn moves are half a second in duration, so that equates to 120 beats per minute, which is this fast. So if you're like spam tapping your phone crazy fast, sometimes there's a glitch right now where sometimes your Dragon Breath won't register. So tap slower, don't mash your phone screen too hard. I go for the Ominous Wind bait there on the Kyogre, and I do get that last shield, which is very favorable for me. If this is a Blizzard, it's really going to hurt. It's only a Surf. Honestly, I have yet to encounter a Kyogre that has hit me with Blizzard. Very surprising. I know when I run Kyogre, it has Blizzard on it. It is a lot of energy to get to Blizzard, but I feel like some of the opponents I've faced, they've charged up enough energy. Maybe they're just not running a secondary charge move. So that first set of 5, I was able to go 5 wins and 0 losses. I was super excited, and I'm like, all right, let's just keep this going. Keep this team going. I believe I run into some matchups here where I encounter some Togekiss leads, so we can kind of see how I play that out. Dialga in the lead is just so devastating. Again, mine is not a hundo, but in the mirror matchups, it really shouldn't matter that much. So this is an unfavorable lead for me again, but I'm actually going to farm up a little bit of energy right here. Then I switch into my Giratina. Are they running Snorlax? They're not running Snorlax, so this is still a playable matchup for me. I'm going straight Shadow Ball, really hoping that this goes through. They do not shield it. So this Dialga, I believe I'm going to commit a shield here. Oh, I let this go through. What in the world? I barely survived that. That was a bold play. Going for the Ominous Wind. And it's just barely not enough to KO, but one Shadow Claw KOs the Dialga. Holy cow. That was very close, but it allowed me to regain control of this matchup, which is so important. I've said this in a lot of my videos. The most important matchup of the game is that secondary matchup. If you lose the lead, okay, that's unfortunate, but whatever Pokemon you switch in, you need to win out that matchup or leave it with a significant shield advantage. So a lot of times I'm comfortable committing even both my shields in that secondary matchup if I knew that my lead was super bad. They're running Gyarados, which is a very interesting pick. Dragon Breath, Crunch, and probably Hydro Pump, I'm assuming, for their charge moves. I go for the Iron Head. I still only have one charge move on my Dialga, and that's okay. I don't have enough rare candies to commit to the secondary move, so I am walking my Dialga right now, trying to get some candies for it. But it might not be till next time Master League rolls around that I'll have a secondary charge move. And I'm totally okay with that. Honestly, Dialga's main use is just for its amazing typing and the raw Dragon Breath damage. That is what it is mainly used for. Having Thunder would be really great to hit for neutral on those steel types, but I'm okay with it. Just going for the Meteor Mash here. I do get a shield, so I was able to bait them. I'm going to let this Rock Slide go through. I anticipated them trying to bait me there, And because I saved this shield, I can now comfortably commit my shield here. And I should be able to get to this Earthquake and take this match. Very close at the end there. Melmetal is a beast, but that Thundershock fast move, it charges energy so fast. Able to take that match. Good games. Let me know if you guys like the audio quality now. I'm using this little mic and I'm like holding it in my hand. So we get a little bit better audio quality than just the external mic from my camera. Very favorable lead for me here. So there's the Togekiss. I could have switched in even sooner, but I knew that my Metagross has such a favorable matchup. I throw this Meteor Mash before the Togekiss is able to get to the Flamethrower. They commit a shield, so this is even a worse scenario for them because I'm going to fully commit to fast move farming them down. Going to commit one shield, but I'm going to leave this matchup with so much stored energy. And I still have control of the match. I still have switch advantage. Out comes Giratina. Most likely they're going to try to Shadow Claw me down here, but because I have so much stored energy, I should be able to get to 2 Meteor Mashes. Yep. But farming me down, I believe, is the way to go here, because they want to leave this matchup with stored energy, but I'm not going to allow them to do it. I switch into my Dialga. This forces them to throw their charge move, and they're probably going to want to get out of there. I shield up the Shadow Ball. In the back is their own Dialga. I have a lot of stored energy here, but these Iron Heads are going to be resisted. This is one possible reason you might want to run Draco Meteor is for in this closed game scenario in the mirror match here, but Iron Head goes through. It's barely enough to KO. Out comes the Giratina, and Dialga just Dragon Breaths it down. Good game there. I believe in this video, I go on an 8-win streak, and then I finally lose. Okay, this is up against JCho89. Very strong competitor. So I knew that this was going to be intense. Had to focus up for this. Dialga mirror match. How are we going to play this out? So anytime you're in a mirror match, look at your CPs. His is at 40-38. Mine's only at 40-20. So I know that he's got better IVs than me, but it shouldn't matter because I have the attack and defense break and bulk point. However, it looked like he snuck into Dragon Breath while I was throwing this Iron Head, so I'm at less health, and I noticed that I was at that disadvantage, so I get out of there right off the bat. Now, he is running Rhyperior, and because he was just a little bit slow to the switch in, my Metagross is going to be able to handle this just fine. I'm going to be able to get to this second Meteor Mash. He was trying to fully commit to the fast move farm down, but Metagross was just brutal here. He was out of shield, so he lets it go through, so I've regained control of this match, and I'm up a shield. It's going to be kind of hard for him to come back from this scenario. His Giratina came out and was able to farm down a lot of energy. So he was actually running the team that I ran in my previous video, Dialga, Giratina, and Rhyperior. Pretty solid. It does have a Togekiss weakness, but I'm not running Togekiss, so not as big of a deal. I correctly shield the Shadow Ball. I'm anticipating him to switch in the Dialga. There it is. I know I have stored energy in my Dialga in the back. I'm just going for the Ominous Wind here, and then I'm hoping to maybe, it's just enough to take out. I get the boost, and at this point I'm like, oh, I am so sorry, JCho. I did not want to win like this with the unfair advantage that is the Ominous Wind boost. Niantic, oh man, they should really change that to not a 2-stage boost and just a 1-stage boost because it's so devastating. I did not want to win like that, but good game. I believe that was my 8th win there. Okay, we're up against Nora God. This is where I get my loss. But then I believe I get rematched up against them and I get some sweet revenge. So this is not a good scenario for me, but I want to throw an Iron Head before I leave this. And look at how much damage my Dragon Breath is still doing. Yes, their Mud Slap damage is outpacing my Dragon Breath, but I get a shield there. Now I'm going to switch in my Giratina. That was questionable. If they have, I do correctly shield up the Rock Record, but they are running Snorlax. No! This is where using Giratina as a switch-in is not as effective. But you just never know what people are running. So I am fishing for the boost. I'm going to throw as many Ominous Winds as it takes until I get the boost or until I get taken out. This is also a really great way to run out the switch clock. So I'm keeping my eye on the switch clock down there. I know that they still have that Rhyperior. Go for another Ominous Wind, and then my switch clock is going to be up. So now I'm going to switch back into Dialga. Going to farm up some energy here. It's only a Body Slam. And I was expecting their Rhyperior to come out. I'm barely able to get to this Iron Head. This is going to KO the Rhyperior if he lets it go through. He lets it go through. We're even shields. Out comes Melmetal. Oh boy, they still have the Snorlax. My Giratina is very low health. I bring out my Giratina. I really want to get this Ominous Wind, but instead the Melmetal is going to dump its energy. Totally fine by me. They play this amazing. The end of this matchup is so close, and they execute it perfectly. So I know they're farming up a lot of energy. I need to shield the first superpower. I let it go through. Very unfortunate. Out comes the Snorlax. I farm up just a little bit more, and now I'm going to go for the Meteor Mash. Just enough to take out the Snorlax. They bring back in the Melmetal. Is this a Rock Slide or a superpower? I shield up the Rock Slide. They baited me so well. So they're not debuffed. Now they can just go straight superpower and clutch this up. I need to get this bait. I do get the bait, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get to an Earthquake in time. There's the superpower. I'm honestly within superpower range. I'm within Rock Slide range. And it would have taken me, I believe, like 2 more bullet punches to get to the Earthquake. And it was just not enough. You could see they got to their charge move right there. I thought that they would be debuffed enough that Meteor Mash would KO, but it did not happen. Amazing plays. Amazing plays on their part. And then I get matched up with them again. It's always funny when that happens. And by funny, I mean sometimes very frustrating. But this gives me a chance to kind of get some revenge. So I know what they're running. I know that this is not a favorable lead. This time around, I switch in my Metagross because they don't have a hard wall to my Metagross. Melmetal is not, the best response. The superpower is only going to be hidden for neutral damage. I land the Earthquake, which really tips this matchup in my favor. They went for the Rock Slide there. I did not take the bait. If this is a superpower, I am in range of being taken out by it. So I shield that one up. Now I can totally farm them down because of the debuff. So I've regained control of this match. Even though I'm down a shield, totally fine by me. This Rhyperior has to shield this Meteor Mash. I'm not going to be able to get to a second one. He Mud Slaps me down. But I can comfortably bring in Giratina. I know that they have Snorlax in the back. So honestly, this is already good games here. I just need to correctly shield this Rock Wrecker, which I'm assuming that this is going to be. Oh my goodness, I let it go through. Does a lot of damage. Now I bring out my Dialga against the Snorlax. I need to look out for the Earthquake. Just going straight Iron Head here, trying to get rid of their last shield. But because my Giratina avoided the Snorlax matchup, I'm in a very safe position. I correctly shield up the Earthquake. And this puts me in a very favorable position. I can fully commit to the Dragon Breath farm down. I know this is not going to be an Earthquake, but they do get some last minute chip damage with the Body Slam. And then they're going to bring back in the Rhyperior. Even though the Mud Slap damage is going to be hitting me for super effective, the Iron Head would absolutely knock it out. And then I switch in, and I'm going to be able to throw this Shadow Ball and take this match for the final game in that set of 10. And then I actually went on to play another 5 games, but I didn't record it. But I went 5-0 in that as well. And so I went like 14-1 with this team of 3. Let me know what you guys think of this team. Oh my gosh, it was finally working out for me, man. Things were working. It was exciting. You're looking at me throw a ball at a Lapras here. That's pretty cool. claim my rewards. If you guys like this content, you want to support the channel and be on my friends list and train with me, head on over to my Patreon. The link will be down in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.